He was diagnosed as autistic as a teenager, and he wished to become a female at the age of 15. It is unclear when he began to transition, but he did receive bottom surgery that had major complications.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to talk about another transgender, gender affirming care that went sideways and ended up in death. I mean, the only reason I know about this, honestly, is because somebody sent me an email. I didn't even hear about this. Kind of like the last one, to be honest with you. So if I seem a little down, that's why. And I, again, appreciate you all checking in with me. It really means a lot. But these stories just have to be told, and we have to really have these conversations because it's not okay. So, I'm going to say, please like this, really actually like this. The last couple ones you have, and they've been really doing well, and people have been seeing them, and I've been getting a lot of people sending me a lot of great messages. So with that, we're all working hard to create these spaces so that people can see these important stories. This one's pretty sad, so sit down. Okay, here we go. So I got an email from somebody. I'll read the email after I play this video first. I think it's important to play the video first, and that way you'll get a sort of understanding of what this story is all about. It's so sad and depressing.
I just learned about the death of a young autistic man named Yarden Silveira. He was diagnosed as autistic as a teenager, and he wished to become a female at the age of 15. It is unclear when he began to transition, but he did receive bottom surgery that had major complications. He had a gaping hole where his rectum was, and his colon was spilling out. This led to further complications with blockage, and then blood clots, and eventually death. He died at the age of 21. The therapists he was seeing during this transition were encouraging his surgeons to detransition him and to fix him, or else he would die. The surgeons in California did not listen, and ultimately he died. Wow. He had severe regrets about the surgery he had, and he wished that someone would have led him and told him that he was perfectly fine in his own body and given him the strategies to deal with his autism. But instead, he said he wanted to become a woman, and they did exactly that without an in-depth investigation.
Wow.
And this is what I've been saying for so long. There are so many children, so many teenagers, so many people who could have other mental health disorders, who could have other developmental disorders that are going undiagnosed, or they are being diagnosed, but it's being brushed under the rug because they don't feel right in their own bodies and they are saying that they're trans. And instead of trying to help them, we're encouraging them to chop off their body parts and take life-altering drugs.
Wow. Are you kidding me? Wait till you see what else I have here. People are sending me this stuff, and I am just appalled at this disgusting thing called gender affirming care. This is not gender affirming care. And when you see what this young person wrote, she said at 15, he said that he wanted to become a woman. I did a little research, and his surgery, he got his surgery, I think at the age of 19. And then I think he died at the age of 23. I could be wrong with those numbers, but you can add them all up. You'll see when he was born, and he was 4 years suffering. 4 years suffering with this thing that they called a vagina, which from the get-go was disgusting and is not a vagina. Okay. So why are they doing these surgeries? Why are they doing these to people? So watch, this is the email that I got from somebody that started me to research this whole thing. I hope you see this. There is a detransitioner I was online friends with called Yarden Silveira, trans name Emily Silveira, who suffered immensely due to vaginoplasty. And no one would help him, no doctors. Wow. He threatened to off himself many times and used to post on Facebook and message me that he was going to, oh my God, unalive himself because he couldn't live with his destroyed body. I tried to help him and, along with others, talk him out of it. He then wrote a post on Facebook saying, this is it. He is done. He can't live like this anymore. And he completely disappeared. I found out later he passed away and has an obituary online. I wondered where he went and was so scared, either his online words about taking his life, and he just disappeared. I find God, it's horrible. I find out he did in fact pass. He wrote in his last message just before about how the surgeons are responsible for his death. Like the recent trans man story, we don't know if he did, in fact, take his life. But if you put the pieces together, it sadly seems this way. Please, can you talk about him and give him a voice? I'm just so mad and sad and disgusted and what? So now what I'm going to show you is a Yelp review of the surgeons, okay? And what this young person wrote about their surgery. It's actually shocking and disgusting. And this was written March 11th, 2021. And he passed in May 20th, 2021. And he was born February 20th, 1998. And it looks like he got his surgery in 2017. So he writes on the Yelp review of these doctors. I'm going to put links to all of this, the names of the doctors, everything, because I think they're still practicing. And when you see, I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's really, really long. I'm going to read what I find to be the most important parts, and I'll put the link so you can finish the rest of it. It's mind-blowing. I wish I never listened to the medical and psychiatric community when they told me it was possible to change my sex. What a lie. Very dangerous and unethical. Sex reassignment surgery is a hit and miss type of surgery, but they don't tell you that. They never do. And maybe if I didn't have autism, maybe if my brain wasn't so defective, I would have caught on before it was too late. I wish there was a cure for autism, but that's unlikely. It's endless suffering on top of even more suffering. And I also wish voluntary euthanasia was legal. My death, likely painful, has proven that ethics are not universal and are otherwise non-existent. Oh my gosh. He goes on and on to talk about, there's a part here that I really want to read. Oh my gosh. This is just, what hurts me most is the loneliness and the inability to find a partner. I can't have a normal sex life. I'm a loser, and I probably deserve this deception. This is what I get for messing with nature. Mankind is destructive and self-destructive. I just wanted friendship and love. I wanted life to be easier. I wanted to be a woman since I was 15. I wish I had the knowledge that I have today. I was a confused kid with no identity. I wish I could have done everything different, but it's too late now. Are we paying attention here? Are we actually paying attention? He said if he would have had the information, which we're not even putting out today, he would have never done this. What's wrong with everybody? This is such an important message. And why this person who sent me this email, thank you so much, because you're right. We can't let this person's death go in vain. We need to use this in order to stop 15-year-old kids with autism from going through this same nonsense and then dying because of all of the negligence of these surgeons. So then he goes on to talk about the names of the surgeons, and I might mispronounce their names, but I don't really care. Dr. Thomas Satterwhite, Dr. Maurice Garcia, both in California, who are my original surgeons, have basically killed me. With accessory to my death is Dr. Marslov Dtorchevich, Dr. Ravir Perhat, Dr. Rachel Blubon Lagore, and Dr. Jess Ting, who all refused to help me despite having letters by one psychiatrist and 2 clinical social workers recommending reversal surgery and my detransitioning. My last wish is for the state of California and the state of New York to press mutilation and criminal charges against these monsters. But they won't, because people like me don't matter. There will be no accountability since malpractice is impossible to prove, especially with no lawyers willing to help me. There will be more victims of the false promises of changing your body into someone you can never be. This is just profound, people. Profound. The fact that he wrote this is on the internet, on Yelp, okay? I am reading this young, dead child to me. Last wishes, basically. It is unbelievable to me. Then he put the paper of his surgery. And one of the things at the very bottom, and I'm going to put all of this up here on the screen for you all to see, and also a link to this. It says hospital, after it says the surgery, what kind of surgery he had. It was totally insane, blah, blah, blah. Then it says hospital course. The patient is an undergoing transgender woman who had undergone penile inversion vaginoplasty, but unfortunately developed a hematoma that resulted in necrosis of the intervaginal skin. That was debrided by an outside surgeon, and the patient was subsequently brought to ER, emergency room. What is happening? Oh my gosh, people, this is so sad. Then the person gave me some attachments here, and this is the obituary. And I think that they took these words from one of the things that I read, but this is in Yarden's obituary, which I will also put up here on the screen. And you're going to freak out when you hear this. I have a gaping hole in my genital area with my colon spilling out. And he writes, disgusting, and a ring of scar tissue blocking most of the entrance. If the colon can't discharge, that leaves it with severe blockage, which then could turn and likely expected into blood clots, followed by death. I've already reached the stage of blockage. What hurts me the most is the loneliness and the inability to find a partner. I read that. This is from the Yelp space. How are we doing this to young people? How are we doing this to young people? I don't even know how many more people have passed from these surgeries that do not work. They don't clearly. Some people have had them and say that they're fine with it. But I don't care. If one person is dying from this, we need to have a conversation, because I don't think a lot of people are being honest about these things. This person was young. In 2017, when they got the surgery, they were a youngster. That I think that would have made them maybe 19 years old or something like that. That's a youngster. And then I think they died at 23. What is happening? And they were in so much pain and agony, and these disgusting loser doctors wouldn't help him, would not help him detransition, wouldn't talk to him, wouldn't acknowledge him. It is actually shocking. So I'm putting all the doctors' names here, and we need to do something. We cannot have people like this operating on people, especially people who have autism, especially people who have some mental health stuff going on that hasn't been addressed. And they're just going ahead and operating. Do you know what an insane surgery these penis surgeries and these vagina surgeries are? They are so crazy. And I don't care if you're trans and looking at me and calling me names. I don't care. I'm not shutting up. Never will I shut up until this stops. Never. Never. It's disgusting. We not only owe our community honesty, we owe the world honesty. That these surgeries are experimental, and young people are getting trapped into this idea that you can change your sex when you cannot change your sex. So, in closing, we should all send this youngster some love wherever they are in heaven, and we should not let this person's death go unnoticed. And we should use this story, because I'm sure Yarden would want me and you and all of us to use it in order to stop this stuff from happening and to hold these people accountable. Remember what Yarden's last wishes were. My last wish is for the state of California and the state of New York to press mutilation and criminal charges against these monsters. That's his last wishes. We must start holding these surgeons and doctors accountable for the insanity that they are doing to these young people and to us in our community. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you so much. If you can like this, make comments. The comments are really, really important to me. I read them all, and just really help to get this video out there. I feel again it's one of the important videos I'm making. And if you have any other stories you want to send me, please do. I'll look into them. If you've heard of any more of these, send them to me. Okay. Have a beautiful rest of your day.